Well,
I'm sorry.
James Wood's gonna be there. He'll be controlling the entire organization now.
But anyways, you eventually leave Disney Town, and then it kind of does like with the Princess kind of worlds. It breaks off with three other ones. You got Olympus Coliseum again.
Uh-oh.
You got Deep Space,
Yes.
and you got Neverland.
Never.
And so, but everyone would go to different things. Like, let me say, I don't remember who went where first.
I'm not sure either.
But
I think Terra was the first one to visit deep space.
yeah, and I think it was Vin for Olympus Coliseum, and I think Aqua for Neverland.
That actually makes sense.
But and of course, they would go for like what they had to do or whatever, and after that, if memory serves me correct, Neverland being the last area, the last like Disney World area.
This kind of segues into the final area you go into, correct?
Right. This gets you to the final area, which was the Keyblade Graveyard area, and this is where, of course, we break off in the paths, and Terra would fight Master Xehanort. Ven would fight Vanitas, and actually Aqua would actually fight Vanitas first.
Well, I think the storyline is Roxas meant like the mental, like Roxas and Vanitas would clash first. Then Roxas would go into Vanitas. They would become one. On the inside, Vanitas and Roxas are still fighting. On the outside, Vanitas has a broken Keyblade.
Yeah, I think because Ven and Vanitas are fighting, but on the outside, like Aqua is fighting the other Vanitas with the help of Mickey.
I think the idea is that inside Vanitas' head, or like on the inside, the internal battle is Roxas and Vanitas, which is where you get that that boss battle. But on the outside,
Terra's up on the mountain,
Terra's
or whatever,
up on the
fighting
mountain.
Xehanort.
Yeah, I think that's the storyline of it. That's how it's supposed to go.
But and of course, Vanitas gets defeated. The Keyblade, or which should have been known as the X-Blade,
which was written as that. It was just the X-Blade, but then it would say Keyblade.
Yeah, Keyblade. But when Vanitas is defeated, what happens is, Terra's like, the only way I'll defeat you or whatever is to, take all of my darkness and turn it into light or whatever. But then it gets to a point where Xehanort ends up taking over Terra's body, and because I think he wanted a younger Shell to be in.
I think his strategy is basically he controls the soul and body of a younger person to live on.
Because I think he knew, because of old age, he wasn't done what he needed to do, and I think he wanted to continue, but he wanted to be. He needed a younger body.
Yeah, he needed more time. So.
And of course. Now, there's one more section, but to do this, you need to make sure you went through everyone's story, and you needed to get all of Ansem's reports. And I believe there's 10 of them.
Yeah, there's always 10.
And once you got all of them, you would get... the fourth file would be unlocked, and once you save that file, you would get the last story. Now, you get to play as Aqua for this one. But you'll get to... It's pretty much all it is like a long cutscene, and then you would end up fighting Terranort.
Terra with Ansem inside of Terra.
Yeah, so you would and it's a pretty nice hardcore boss battle, and you would fight in the middle of Radiant Garden,
which was a very great scenery at the time.
And of course, when the fight's over, Terra, it's kind of like the whole thing with Riku to stop Ansem with the Sora and Kairi thing.
Yep.
He was trying to pull Ansem back. Well, Terra does that thing, and but what happens is, uh, they end up making this portal of darkness, and Terra falls in it.
And Aqua follows them inside.
Yeah, Aqua follows and saves Terra, but Aqua is left behind. And of course, the guys of Ansem the Wise and his people find Terra, who's still Xehanort,
which sucks.
Just laying there on the ground. Okay, guys, let's just bring him in. Blah blah blah. And as for Vanitas, or not Vanitas, Vin, he uses he's like weak, but he's pretty much like light, but he's like sleeping or whatever.
He's kind of like
but he uses like
shell.
His heart to he finds little boy Sora, like little kid Sora.
Oh yes.
And he asks Sora if he could stay with him in a way inside of him. And of course, 5-year-old Sora is like, okay.
Let's do that.
And so then he would sleep inside Sora's heart, which then, of course, in Kingdom Hearts, when Sora stabs himself, he releases the light, which was Ben, who I guess you would say reincarnates in becoming Roxas.
I think Ben makes sense. Yeah, he technically became Roxas, and then when Roxas came back into Sora, didn't he leave and went back into himself?
Something like that. But anyways, that's all of Birth by Sleep.
And at the very end,
in a really quick way.
At the very end of this game, because I remember this so clearly, so Aqua's the guy she meets up with, which I'm guessing is Ansem the Wise.
Yeah, she meets up with Ansem the Wise.
And he's like, there's this new creature, and his name is Sora. And then everyone of the entire game that you've met up with, they say Sora, Sora, Sora. And it's like, what the f... It just keep going on and on and on, and everyone says Sora like 20 times, and then at the very end, you see Sora at where he was left off, reading the note, and you finally get to figure out what does the note say. And that's the end of Birth by Sleep.
And, of course, now we would finally get into Recoded.
Which came out for the DS once more. And
right.
This one is another filler.
This one's actually pretty short after playing it.
I have never gotten my hands on it. Though I haven't seen a playthrough of it yet either, so...
I remember getting a hold of it. Okay, pretty much what Recoded is. It starts off where it shows both Jimmy's journals, the first one from Kingdom Hearts 1, and then next to it's the one from Kingdom Hearts 2. But Jiminy is more concerned about the first one. And so he opens it up because he knows there was an adventure, but there was no text in there. But it did say, thank Nomine, and he wants to figure this out. So they kind of put rocket science into all this. So, he goes and brings the journal to Mickey, and, they look into it. And then, I don't know what's going on. Mickey has, a virus from all this, and the Disney's computer or whatever is all screwed up. So then they, decide, who can save all this? And then they get, a data version of Sora.
Computer Zora.
And pretty much, really all this game really is, it's kind of like going through Kingdom Hearts 1 again. It gives you that Chain of Memories vibe in a way, but not as bad.
Oh, thank God.
And what you do is, the whole idea is, you'll start off in Destiny Islands, and there's something that's torn in the program. And you need to find, the torn part. And then you'll go inside the torn thing and, kill the Heartless that are in it. And then, defeat the boss if there is one. And then you'll fix that part of the program. And then more things would start to appear in this journal. But the thing is, it wouldn't be things from the first adventure. It would be, all this creepy stuff. Like, I know it was you. Please stop this now. And stuff like that. And, they were getting all freaked out. It'll get to a point where it'll focus more on Mickey and them, because Mickey, Donald, and Goofy are there, and out of nowhere a shining light appears, But they never realize it. But what happens is they get transferred into the computer,